Hello, and this is the pilot for my Learn Grammar by Example course, which I did as an intensive course with a group of students. And now I'm experimenting with an online version or a video version where I present the lesson in a video spontaneously in the same way that I would if I was teaching students. So it's not scripted. And let me just first of all say a couple of words about the concepts behind the grammar by example or learn by example. The traditional way to teach grammar is first of all to give a lot of rules and maybe a lot of tables, and then to provide a few, almost like an afterthought, a few examples. Well, my approach is to provide lots of examples first, and then to encourage the students to deduce the patterns. Patterns is like another word for grammar, really. So I want to try and make it less academic and more, practical and just a different approach, maybe a little bit more like when you're learning as a child. So those are the titles of the different videos. There's one video for each of those folders. So the first one is intro, nominative, masculine, feminine, neuter. And the first sentence that we're going to look at is Heute ist ein großartiger Tag. Heute ist ein großartiger Tag. Now I encourage you to read the sentence and repeat, because by reading aloud it helps you to get the sound of the words and of the phrase together into your head. Ein großartiger Tag. Now these are some quite famous words in a famous speech. Let me go to the next slide. There we can see the blue. So the blue is for nominative. Nominative case, of course, just means name. You name something you're going to talk about. So here, the thing he's talking about is that it is a day. It's ein Tag. It's a day. It's ein großartiger Tag. What is the großartiger Tag? Oh, another one of my concepts is to use real-life phrases, maybe even historical phrases, famous quotes, and useful phrases that you might have in conversation. So he said, Die Mauer trennt uns nicht mehr. The wall divides us no more. There we can see the red for the accusative. So I color code according to blue, nominative, red, accusative, as we can see in my tables here on the right-hand side. Green is dative, and purple is genitive. So this was, the words were by Walter Momper, regierender Bürgermeister von Berlin, and he said the words am 9. November 1989, when the wall opened. Heute ist ein großartiger Tag. Die Mauer trennt uns nicht mehr. Unfortunately, I don't have the recording and I've not been able to find it. So that's it. So what can we say? Now, the idea is to observe the interesting grammatical features of the sentences in front of you, because students are constantly looking at sentences or dealing with sentences, but the traditional approach doesn't encourage them to actually look critically and look actively to deduce what's going on here. So we have ein. It means one, großartig, great, and then we have the ending. Of course, we don't have endings in English. We got rid of them about 1,000 years ago. But it's ein großartiger Tag, because it's der Tag. Der Tag. Let me scroll down to the table. There it is. So it's der Tag. That's the gender, der Tag. But for the ein, we have to go up to the top, which is here. So it's ein, masculine, ein großartiger Tag. So you can either say der Tag or ein großartiger Tag. So the ending on großartig is er, just like der, masculine, der Tag. The rule is very simple. Die Mauer trennt uns. It divides us. That's the accusative, because we are the object of the dividing. It divides us no longer. So there we are. There's the English. Can you say the sentence again? Now I'd like you to pause, if you don't mind. Just pause the video so I'm not having to leave long gaps. So pause it now, think, and then say, or if you want to, you can write them. Say the sentences, if you can remember them. And the answer is, Heute ist ein großartiger Tag. Die Mauer trennt uns nicht mehr. Ich finde, Birmingham ist eine großartige Stadt. Birmingham ist eine großartige Stadt. Now here we have a feminine noun. It's die Stadt. So die ends in an E, and so it's an E on the adjective. Eine großartige Stadt. Remember, you can learn grammar by learning whole phrases. So if you remember, ich finde, Birmingham ist eine großartige Stadt, then you could substitute any other city. Ich finde, Berlin ist eine großartige Stadt. Ich finde, München ist eine großartige Stadt, or wherever. So there is nominative. After the verb to be is nominative. So ich finde, I find, what do you find? And then it's just the phrase, Birmingham ist eine großartige Stadt. So what is it again? Pause the video if you need to. Ich finde, Birmingham ist eine großartige Stadt. Next. Es war ein großartiges Konzert. There it is, nominative, that's the blue for the ein and the es, because it's das Konzert. Ein großartiges Konzert, because it's R for masculine, E for feminine, S for neuter. Those are the endings on the adjectives after ein. So what was it? Auf Deutsch bitte. Say it in German. That's right. Es war ein großartiges Konzert. What's next? Ah yes, die Queen. Schöne Erinnerungen sind eine zweite Gelegenheit, glücklich zu sein. In this sentence, this is slightly more complicated than the previous ones, but as we're focusing on just one sentence, we've taken away all the ones around that would be on a normal page. This is part of the concept to focus your attention just on one sentence. Beautiful memories are a second opportunity in order to be happy. Let's put the colours in. Oh yeah, it's eine zweite Gelegenheit. So schöne Erinnerungen sind eine zweite Gelegenheit. Now here we have schöne Erinnerungen, that's the plural, beautiful memories. The ending for the plural is E on the adjective. And the ending on the noun, singular, feminine, eine zweite Gelegenheit. Because it's die Gelegenheit, feminine, eine zweite Gelegenheit. And it's such a nice phrase. It's translated from English into German, but it has a nice sentiment. Schöne Erinnerungen sind eine zweite Gelegenheit, glücklich zu sein. I think it's worth memorizing. Can you? So, can you translate the direct translation from the German? Okay, pause the video if you need to. Schöne Erinnerungen sind eine zweite Gelegenheit, glücklich zu sein. Which actually said, good memories are our second chance at happiness. Interesting how they rearrange the words a little bit so it sounds more natural in German. You often do that in translation. Es ist eine tolle Sache. Feminine noun here. Eine. So it's eine tolle Sache. It's nominative, so it's the blue. Eine tolle Sache, we can see there. Es ist eine tolle Sache. So in the table on the right, we can see it. Es ist eine tolle Sache. What is it? Say it in German. Pause if you need to. Es ist eine tolle Sache. Johann Strauss war ein bedeutender österreichischer Komponist. Bedeutend, that means he is significant or important or maybe famous. Johann Strauss war, he was, ein bedeutender österreichischer Komponist. So masculine, so the ending on the adjective after ein is er. Totally logical. It's der Komponist, so it's ein bedeutender Komponist. You have a second adjective, österreichisch, and that too has the er on the end. Johann Strauss war ein bedeutender österreichischer Komponist. Another good phrase to learn by heart. Can you say it in German again? Pause the video if you need to. Johann Strauss war ein bedeutender österreichischer Komponist. Oh yes, that's the last one. I told you this is improvised. So that's it. That's the end of my first lesson of my Learn by Example grammar course. And with more editions to follow. So vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Many thanks for watching. Und bis bald.